One glaring omission from the top 10 was Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott. First of all, wow, Lamar, but Shannon, how do you explain this Zeke off the list?
Because I've really never looked at Zeke as an explosive running back, Skip. I think the thing is for you is that you haven't gotten over what you saw when he was at Ohio State, and especially what he did in the sophomore year over those last 4 games. You fell in love then, and you've been smitten with Zeke Elliott and his running style ever since then. Skip, there have been very few backs in NFL history that could wear you down, carry the ball 25, 30 times, put their foot in the dirt, and go 80-plus. The only ones that's off the top of my head is Adrian Peterson and Eric Dickerson. I'm talking about bell cow backs. Carry it 25, 30 times, and then, boom, they can go 60 yards. Well, Skip, O.J. really wasn't a bell cow back. O.J. was a slipper and slider. Adrian Peterson, Skip, ran to contact. You know, I'm surprised that he's been able to be as successful as he has with his running style. Adrian Peterson still can go get you 100 yards on a given Sunday. So when I look at Zeke, Skip, in 2016, his rookie season, he had 8 runs of 25 yards or more. In 2017, it was 4. But remember, Skip, he missed, 6 games? Okay, so they might have been the same thing. Last year, he led the league with 4 runs of 25 yards. This season, 4 runs of 25 yards. Skip, I don't look at him as a guy that stick his foot in the dirt and get gone. Like Saquon. See, you talk about Saquon because Saquon, he 1 yard, he's 2 yards, he's 55. But you want that from Zeke. Yeah. Zeke is a pound guy, 3 yards here, 4 yards there, 2 yards, 10 yards, 1 yard. That's what he is. He's not that guy, Skip, that'll stick his foot in the dirt and can hit his head on the goalpost. And so for me, Skip, when I look at Zeke, I look at him as a bell cow back. He's sturdy. He's just going to wear you down. But if you're expecting to see the Zeke that you saw at Ohio State this sophomore season, especially over those last 4 games, Skip, that guy ain't coming back. It's over. That guy is not coming back.
Shannon, he ran 4.47 at the combine. He goes 225. Mm-hmm. He was, I thought, Eric Dickerson, or at least a reasonable facsimile. I thought O.J. was more of a bell cow back because he was the first to ever go in 14 games over 2,000 yards.
Yeah.
But O.J. was 225 and could run, I don't know what he ever timed, but he was 4.4, might have been 4.3. Eric Dickerson ran in the 4.2s, I believe. Yeah, there you go. So, again, were Eric and O.J. at their peak faster than Zeke? Yes, they were. They're all they're in the ballpark of the same size as far as weight goes. Mm-hmm. They're built differently. Both O.J. and Eric are built taller and longer than Zeke, who's a little stouter. But the point is, I saw burst his rookie year. Even though he only played, 8 games his second year, I saw flashes of dash. I saw home run hitter. I saw a guy in his first 2 NFL seasons, Shannon, who would have been at or at least near the top of this list if it had been made at those points in his career. It horrifies me to say, as I told you, and again, I first guessed this, I'm not 20/20 hindsight. I didn't see it last year the way I saw it before. My line to you constantly, my refrain on this show was, he looks like he's still running in Cabo sand because he was training down in Cabo San Lucas. And obviously he came back and Jerry Jones caved in and gave him his $90 million. And I believe that it's stories and analyses like this one that make Jerry feel like he does occasionally when he stays all night, as he calls it, honky-tonking. When he comes in and he's hadn't slept and he's feeling a little queasy and his head's throbbing and maybe he needs an Excedrin or a Tylenol. And that's how this is making him feel because Zeke just wasn't quite right. And my stats are a little different than ones you use, but I'll go 2 different areas. There are 10-plus yard runs and 20-plus yard runs. And the 10s, if we just take his full seasons, we discount 2017, but if we go the 10-plus yard runs, he had 48 when he was a rookie. That's really good. Then 41 the next full season, 2018, and last year down to 38. Not terrible, but you see a little decline. And then in 20-plus yard runs, he had 14 when he was a rookie, then 11 in 2018, and all the way down to only 4 last year. From 14 as a rookie to 4 20-plus yard runs, not right. Something amiss here. And I've told you this before. And again, I love the guy. I'm just trying to call the facts. But if you look at his yards per game, they have declined all 4 of his years. So it doesn't matter how many games you played in 2017. I'm just going yards per contest, per football game. And he had 109 yards a game as a rookie. That'll work. Then it goes down to 98, 96, and last year 85, which was obviously his career low. Okay, so we're going a little bit more. And I don't know. Is he starting to already sort of fade out? We know what was the old cliche number that we used to hear about the running back position. The shelf life of a running back in the National Football League, I've heard this for like 30 years, is 2.5 years. Well, did his shelf life start to run out? I don't know. How could he not even make this list? How could he not make it over number 10, Chris Carson, who got hurt up in Seattle last year, as you know? But really, Zeke over Chris Carson? I don't know. Todd Gurley was just a shell of himself. He's 8th on this list. And I can just keep going backwards and say, really? Philip Lindsay? I like him. I like him. I know he's a little quicker and has a little better burst, but
he can
Philip
run.
Lindsay's well, he can run. No, I got it. Aaron Jones, I told you last year, he was more valuable than Aaron Rodgers, but still, this is Zeke we're talking about.
I think the thing is, Skip, is that as you mentioned, as Zeke goes here, we've watched Dak passing go here. So you can't have the running back go here, and the quarterback go here. Something's going to have to give. Remember, that was the trade-off we just talked about in the last segment. If Nick Chubb is running the ball like we think he is, those targets for those outside receivers is not going to be there. Well, Dak Prescott almost threw for 5,000 yards, Skip. You throw for 5,000 yards, your running back is not going to be going over, 100, like you said, I think you said he had 109 his rookie year, and then he had, 90-something his 90-something. So that's going to
98, 96,
down.
85.
Right.
Okay.
So that's going to creep down.
To your,
Go ahead.
To your point, here are his carries per game for his 4 years. Rookie, 22 carries a game. Then it goes up to 24 carries a game in his second year. Then it goes down to 20 in 2018. And last year it went down one notch to 19. So it's not dramatic, but last year it went from 20 in 2018 down to 19 last year. Again, slight, just slight coming down, devaluing. Go ahead.
But think about this, Skip. Zeke averages about 4.5 yards a carry. So from 22 his rookie year down to 19, that's 4.5 yards. So you're looking at 13.5 yards. Put that 13.5 yards onto that 85, and now you back in business, aren't you? So you take 98 yards rushing per game, and that's what's happened with Zeke. As Dak is starting to increase and they started to throw the ball more, a lot of that has to do also, Skip. Remember, think about how many times you come in there on Monday and you bang the desk about how your Cowboys started slow. Now you start slow. You find yourself down 14, 17, 21 points. You basically neutralize Zeke. Teams, you're like, we can't run Zeke. You're not going to run your way back into a ball game. So Dak ends up throwing. He's having 35, 40-plus throws a game, and Zeke ends up with in the team carries per game. So I think that impacted it. But when you look at Skip, when you look at Zeke, you watch Christian McCaffrey. He gets a crease, and he looks like he's moving. You look at some of these other guys, Skip, they look like they're moving. Zeke looks like Zeke looks like a plow horse. He looks like a guy that's he's getting 4 or 5 yards, but he doesn't look explosive. When Saquon hits a crease, Skip, Saquon looks like he's moving. And some of these other guys, well, Lamar Jackson, Skip, I don't even know why they put Lamar in there, because Lamar is on another level right now as far as generating speed.
But he's, yeah.
But the running.
But he's a ball carrier. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, yeah.
Well, the point is, I want everybody to understand. Yeah, these are, when we're talking about explosive, this list is only of people who carry the football. It's not about the receivers. Right. So we're just talking about running backs, and they're considering Lamar, you know, a part-time running back, because obviously he does carry it some. So that's why he's number one on the list. But Shannon, what was my most tormenting stat last year that I gave you a couple of times? Speaking of bell cow back, remember, on first down last year, Zeke had the second most carries in the league on first down. Because again and again, they said, okay, let's establish our bell cow. And yet, his yards per attempt on first down ranked 18th. Okay, so you got the second most carries, but the 18th worst yards per carry on first down. Well, you know what was happening? 1 yard, 0 yards, -1. 1 yard, 0, -1. It just kept going like that. And I kept, you know, like pulling my hair out, pacing, watching these things, because I'm saying you can't keep asking Dak to try to figure out 2nd and 11, and it becomes 3rd and 10 or whatever. You know how it is. If you play behind the chains, you're going to find yourself at home behind Green Bay 31-3, and that's what they were. They were down 31-3 at home to a Green Bay team I still think that was overrated, that did not have an explosive offense, but that day it sure looked explosive against my defense, and that's a whole nother story. But again, they were not able to ball control the way they used to.
Well, that goes into your point, because if you're just running into the line of scrimmage, Skip, you're not getting an opportunity to generate any speed. So that's why he didn't have enough runs in which he reached the threshold of 15 miles per hour. So they said he had 11% of his runs, he reached a speed of at least 15 miles per hour. The 10 other guys in front of him, that was 18%. So to your point, if you give him the ball on first down and you run him into the line of scrimmage, how much speed do you think he's going to be able to generate, Skip, from 6 yards to the line of scrimmage in which they stop him? So you got to give him creases. So we'll see if he can hit those creases like some of these other guys got in the season, if that can bump up, Skip. But if they fall behind, as long as they don't fall behind by 14, 17 points, Skip, I believe Zeke numbers will creep back into the 90 rush yards per game. But if you keep falling behind, the numbers are going to keep dipping.
Yep, I agree. And my final point to you is Zeke's yards, especially last year, all look like what I call hard yards, high-effort yards, trying to run through brick wall kind of yards. And maybe, you know, what kept happening last year, Shannon, is they're in the shotgun, Zeke's just to the left of Dak, and it's like a hot potato. He catches a snap and just hands it to Zeke like, go somewhere. Go find a hole. Well, that's not exactly creative. So maybe Mike McCarthy will say, we gotta clever this up a little bit. We got to get him out in space a little better. We got to toss it to him. We got to do a little more misdirection with him. We got to do some things that will make people, that will fool people, instead of saying we're going to run this down your throat, because it did not work last year.
I think, Skip, when you look at San Francisco, they don't have the offensive line that the Cowboys have. They use creativity. The Cowboys says, we have this great offensive line, we're just going to move people off the ball. And when you can't move someone off the ball, Zeke is the one that suffers for that. So hopefully, as you mentioned, you have a top 5 offensive line. Mike McCarthy can bring some creativity. You might see Zeke have a bounce-back season and where he gets 1,600, 1,700 rush yards. It's going to be interesting to see, Skip. But they have all those receivers. What do you do with C.D. Lamb if Zeke's running for 1,700 yards? That means C.D., Amari, and Gallup not going to have all those big days, Skip.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.